Chapter show. Medium wave 630 kHz. English program. Today, in this program, you will be listening to a talk delivered by Pavitra Ramdas on the topic Counseling to Children on Child Sex Abuse. Sexual exploitation or abuse is a very serious issue affecting the lives of our children. Sexual exploitation of a child results in not one but multiple victims within that child's family. The term sexual abuse itself evokes a number of reactions and feelings in us. One of the most devastating or painful aspects of abuse is silence, our inability or unwillingness as a society to speak about this horrific problem. This silence may impact a child who has been sexually exploited or abused. Often, people choose silence as they feel powerless. They may feel that the problem is too huge and overwhelming. Sometimes, it is difficult to believe that a person in a certain position of trust or responsibility living in their own community or family can harm their child. But, in the face of these realities, there are steps that need to be taken. When these steps are taken, it could lead to a reduction in the incidence of sexual exploitation of our children. This requires actions or measures from three main angles, namely parents, schools, and the community itself. First, let us see what parents may do. Take the time to talk with your children every single day. Encourage them to communicate openly with you and learn to listen actively and attentively. If your child does not want to be with a certain person or go to a certain place, try to find out why. Be cautious. If any known or unknown person shows your child a great deal of attention or begins giving them gifts, talk to your children about that person and find out why that person is acting in this manner. Teach your children about the 4 private zones of their body, namely the mouth, chest, the part between the legs and the buttocks. Teach them that they have the right to say no to any touch or actions by others in these private zones and to get out of those situations as quickly as possible. Teach your children to kick, scream, and resist, as well as to immediately tell you or another trusted adult about the incident. It is also important to teach children not to remain silent if another person tries to show them adult-rated pictures, asks them to undress in front of them, or undresses themselves, or tries to take nude pictures of them. Children are not always comfortable disclosing disturbing events or feelings. Hence, you have to be sensitive to any changes in your child's behavior or attitude. Some children may not be able to speak about an incident because they may have been threatened with dire consequences or told that bad things will happen to them or their loved ones if they talk about what has occurred. They may feel they won't be believed or what happened is their own fault. All of these feelings may cause them to hide their pain. Children may be scared of being punished, embarrassed, or fear the loss of the love and respect of their family and friends. Reassure children that you're there to help them, and it is all right to tell you anything at all. Be sure to screen babysitters, helpers, and other caregivers. Check references with other families who have used the services of these caregivers or babysitter. Once you have chosen the caregiver, drop in unexpectedly at times to see how your children are doing. Ask your children how the experience with the caregiver was and carefully listen to the responses. If possible, install security cameras at home if you have to leave your child alone with another person. In case of very small children who are left in the care of others, family members need to look out for any suspicious marks of hurt or scars on the child's body every day. If a new scar is noticed, it is necessary to try and find out how the child got the same. Supervise your children's use of computers and the internet. It is better to keep the computer in common areas of the home so that supervision is easier. Know who they are communicating with online. Establish rules like timing for use of computer and internet. For younger kids, make sure that you are besides them when they have to access the internet. This is to ensure that you can either control or turn off unwanted advertisements and pop-ups that come up during the use of the internet. Be involved in your child's extracurricular activities. This way, you can observe how the adults in charge interact with your children. Practice basic safety skills with your kid and discuss their safety openly and honestly. There is absolutely no substitute for your attention and supervision. When the parent is available and takes time to really know and listen to the children, it helps to build a feeling of safety and security in them. When children do confide in you about any incident, strive to remain calm, reassuring, compassionate, and non-judgmental. Listen to their concerns and work with them to get the help they need to resolve the problem. Be sure to tell them what happened was not their fault. Children need to be reassured that they are loved by their family and that this incident does not reduce the family's affection for them in any manner. What is the role of our schools? A large portion of a child's day is spent in school. It is mandatory that the atmosphere provided in the school is safe and healthy. The school management needs to ensure that the teachers, volunteers, and others with access to children are properly screened and trained. A policy for reporting child sexual exploitation and handling disclosures from children should be implemented and enforced. Protocols and screening for school computer and internet use should be established. Age-appropriate child safety programs should be developed. These programs should be designed and handled by professionals to teach concepts that help children build self-confidence in order to better handle and protect themselves in all types of situations. Environmental structure should be assessed well, and every possible step is to be taken to help make it safer for children. Ensure that the children are properly supervised both in the classroom and around the campus. The campus security should be in place so that all visitors are screened through the office and unusual incidents and visitors are properly handled. Schools should work with the PTWA, parents and guardians to develop better communication and share guidelines about safety of children while traveling to and from the school. Now, what can we as a community do in this matter? Schedule town meetings and community seminars to help raise awareness about these issues. Report suspicious persons and activities to local law enforcement. Support aggressive prosecution of offenders who victimize children. If you happen to see a child being abused or exploited in any manner, take the effort to either raise an immediate alarm or report the same to the officials who will take further action to rescue the child. Mobilize community groups and child-serving organizations to help make your community more child-safe. Determine if the available services and programs are adequate to address the needs of your community. Advocate for meaningful legislative changes in this regard with the elected officials. Sexual abuse affects the whole life of a child. It may also leave a lifelong emotional scar. Many people who have been sexually abused as children find it difficult to form healthy relationships as adults. We, as a society, have to work together to bring the topic of sexual exploitation to the forefront. We need to raise the awareness about this issue and help combat its negative long-term effects among the survivors. We also need to empower and strengthen the victimized children, their parents and guardians. There is no need to be shy or embarrassed to talk about the topic. Learn to communicate openly and discuss these issues with children and others around you. Spreading awareness about sexual exploitation among the children and their guardians is the first step towards avoiding and preventing possible mishaps. Remember, by taking these steps, you may be saving a child's life. Dear listeners, you are listening to a talk delivered by Pavitra Ramdas on the topic Counseling to Children on Child Sex Abuse. Now listen to a song sung